Today, we're reviewing the drama thriller Fair Play. Get ready for incredible plot twists. The movie begins at Luke's brother's wedding party, where Luke introduces his girlfriend Emily to his relatives. After completing all the obligatory formalities, the couple heads to the restroom to have some fun, but their plans are interrupted when Emily starts having her period. Trying to clean himself up, Luke drops his wedding ring and immediately proposes marriage to Emily. They then run away from the wedding and return home. The next morning, Emily decides to accept the proposal and tells her parents. After that, they get ready for work, leaving the ring at home. Since they work together, they hide their relationship and even travel to work separately. The company's employees witness a nervous breakdown of one of their colleagues who is about to be fired. Not wanting to intervene, the analysts simply turn up the volume on the TV and turn away from it. Later, Emily accidentally overhears a conversation among her colleagues, who are confident that Luke will be appointed to the vacant position, promoting him from analyst to manager. The girl can't help herself and tells her fiancé about the good news. At home, they celebrate the upcoming promotion and discuss when they can talk about their relationship at work. However, in the middle of the night, Emily receives a call from a colleague asking her to come to the restaurant immediately. When she arrives, she sees her boss, Campbell, there. The boss asks her about her studies and work, praises her cautiously, and to Luke's surprise, promotes Emily to manager, not him. The girl is upset that she has given the guy false hope, but he congratulates her anyway. The next morning, Emily walks into her new office and is greeted by a coworker. However, some of the men in the office don't like the idea of a girl being subordinate. At the very first meeting, Emily gets carte blanche from her boss for a big deal. She orders Luke to check the securities of several companies, but she is a little stressed by the change in social status. In the evening, she calls her mother, asking her not to share the news of her engagement with anyone, as it could cause problems at work. When she returns home, she doesn't find Luke and can't get through to him. At the bar, Emily finds out that Luke is worried about whether Campbell got too close to her before his promotion. She promises to help him get the promotion by using her proximity to the boss and suspects that her colleague is about to be fired. The next day, Emily gives Luke a new assignment, the successful completion of which could improve his reputation in the eyes of Campbell. The man stays at work late into the night to complete the task, and his analysis shows that the company can make a big profit. However, Emily's boss claims that Luke's data is unreliable because he is a mediocre analyst. Over time, it becomes clear that Luke shouldn't hope for a promotion. Later, when a disappointed Luke returns home, Emily drinks with her bosses at a bar. She tries to bring up Luke again, but Campbell admits that he thinks he's an inept analyst and he can't fire him because he's a free lunch. However, if he quits, it will be for the best. Despite all the assurances, tension begins to build between the pair. Luke even refuses to have fun with the girl, citing fatigue, and the difference in social status becomes apparent when a private car is sent for Emily, while Luke is forced to use public transportation. In addition, he becomes jealous of the girl who is talking to the boss. When Emily invites Luke to a restaurant to celebrate his promotion, he refuses, citing the amount of work he has to do. The girl has to have dinner alone while Luke works until the night. In the evening, Emily sees that the boyfriend has bought a collection of self-help books for $3,000. She makes fun of him, which leads to a small quarrel. In the morning, at a meeting, Emily suggests to her boss that they look at one construction company instead of another, but her colleague ridicules her, pointing out the company's problems in court. However, Luke convinces her not to give up on the deal, confident that it will eventually be profitable. However, when Emily returns from her lunch break, it turns out that Luke bought shares in a company that went bankrupt, and this deal resulted in a $25 million loss. Emily rebukes him before reporting to the boss. Campbell criticizes her for this failure, so Emily and Luke need to find a very profitable deal to at least break even. Using his connections, Luke obtains some information and offers to dump the shares of one company before they finally fall in value. The girl refuses because it is illegal. The next day, Luke shows her some correspondence on internet forums that confirms his suspicions. Emily doubts which risky strategy to choose to restore her reputation. To relieve the tension, she decides to make love to Luke, although he is not too keen on it. Despite her best efforts, it doesn't work out. In the end, a disappointed Emily decides to bet on her idea to buy shares in the company with legal fees. She calls Campbell to tell him about it and goes to sleep on the couch. In the morning, while getting ready for work, she hears the news and learns that her prediction was correct. At the office, her boss apologizes to her for the hurtful words, and as a reward, he gives her a $500,000 bonus. She invites Luke over to celebrate the success in the evening, but he doesn't respond to her messages. So when her colleagues suggest a party to celebrate the successful deal, Emily agrees. The managers go to a club where they spend the evening in male chatter. Emily returns home, barely able to stand on her feet, so much so that she can't even open the door on her own, and begins to pester Luke with hints of fun. But he refuses, and everything ends in mutual insults. In the morning, Luke listens to his co-workers discuss Emily's antics at last night's party. He also finds out that a colleague has made a serious mistake and is being fired, leaving another manager's chair vacant. Luke asks Kelly to put in a good word for him with his boss, but she refuses, explaining that the boss is in a bad mood and doesn't like Luke at all. She suggests that he find a job in another company, but instead, he goes to the boss himself. Luke gives a heartfelt speech and even gets down on his knees to get a new position, but this only makes him feel ashamed, not proud of his perseverance. Emily tries to talk to him about his career prospects at another company, but he won't listen. The situation is exacerbated by a call from Emily's mother, who wants to celebrate her daughter's engagement, despite her request not to tell anyone. Even her grandmother from another city is going to come. Luke is looking for his notes from a book on personal growth, but Emily seems to have thrown them away, which leads to another fight. In an outburst of emotion, Emily admits that Campbell wanted to fire Luke in the first place. After saying this, he leaves the apartment. In the morning, Luke doesn't show up for work and doesn't answer his phone. He does not return home in the evening either, and meanwhile, Emily's relatives are seriously preparing to come to town with Luke's parents, who have been told about the engagement. When Emily is giving a presentation to new clients, Luke suddenly shows up at the office, drunk and in a bad way. He bursts into the meeting and disrupts it, telling his boss everything he thinks about him and revealing the secret of his relationship with Emily. Security escorts him out of the room. In the evening, Emily sends Luke an angry text message and then goes to the restaurant where her family is gathered. She learns from Luke's brother that he went home and went to an engagement party. She finds him at the restaurant, where he continues to gossip about their relationship, preparing to break it off. Luke has been lying to his family that he has also been promoted. Emily reveals the truth that he was working under her, and Luke responds by accusing her of getting promoted through bed, recalling her drinking with the boss. In a fit of anger, Emily smashes a glass over his head and runs away. She locks herself in the bathroom, but Luke finds her there and continues the argument, pushing her against the wall. The quarrel turns into a kiss and then into quick fun, during which Luke grabs Emily by the hair and pushes her against the sink, ignoring her complaints of pain. After that, they part ways. The girl goes home and the guy stays at the restaurant. In the morning, Emily disguises last night's bruise with foundation and goes to Campbell's office. She tells her boss a fictional story about how Luke has been stalking her for a long time and spreading dirty rumors that they are dating. The boss accepts her version and promises that after he is fired, he will not find a job in any decent company. Later, while sitting in her office, Emily sees a call from Luke but doesn't answer it. When she returns home in the evening, she finds Luke packing his things and talking about his future plans for life. Emily accuses him of treating her badly, grabs a kitchen knife, threatens him, and demands that he get down on his knees and apologize. Luke tries to grab the knife, but only injures his hand. The girl then stabs him even more. Luke apologizes and begins to cry, asking for forgiveness. Emily leans over and hugs him, also unable to hold back her tears, but not to forgive him, but to order him to wipe the blood off the floor and get out of her house and out of her life. This is the end of the couple's happy relationship. Thank you for being with us. Subscribe to the channel, like us, and be sure to click on the bell to stay up to date with our new videos.